Hey LeGrand Alive, this is your weekly Newsish Roundup brought to you by Grand Ron Hospital, Northwest Furniture and Mattress, and Direct Music Source. The holiday season has begun. The season of exorbitant Christmas lights on houses and trees. The season of Christmas tunes on every business playlist and radio station. The season of anxious present lists and really bad holiday sales to satisfy them. And, first and foremost, the season of everyone's favorite love-hate Christmas movies. And for the next 4 weekends, Elgin Opera House is going to be commemorating the season by taking one of these holiday favorites and converting it to the stage.
A couple of years ago, I had a music director come in from the Seattle area. His name's Troy, and one of his students was cast in the Broadway production of A Christmas Story. He said, "This is a really delightful musical. You really ought to keep your eye out for this show." I did a search on it, and I found the company that held the rights, and I gave him a call, and they said, "You know, the show is restricted," but after discovering where we lived, they said, "I think we can work this out," and they got back to me, and sure enough, they gave us the rights to do it this year. The thing that I think we have going for us is that the adaptation is brilliantly done. They've taken all of the highlights, our favorite moments from the movie.
No. Shoot your eye out.
And they've crammed them into this show. I think that the audience is going to absolutely love the adaptation for the stage.
There's a couple of things that are marked differences between the movie and this stage play. And the first one is you never see Gene Shepard in the movie. It's always a narration voice, the voice from above, so to speak. But here you actually get to connect with a character on the stage, moving around, working with the actors in and out of scenes while telling the stories.
It's just incredible for me. I just really love becoming a part of it because it's just one of my favorite movies, so being in it is just so special for me.
You know, when you have children performing, it's so fun to watch, and this show really challenges the children. So we get to watch this through the eyes, you know, of a young boy, his build-up, his lead-up to Christmas Day, and then of course on Christmas Day we have all of the fun with him getting the presents that he wasn't expecting to get, and then eventually, well, I'm not going to give you a spoiler. You have to come see it to see what happens.
Now, if you didn't catch that last slide, the show runs for the first 4 weekends of December. Times and specific dates can be found on the Elgin Opera House website. Cost is $8 or $17 plus having to sit through 2.5 hours of that god-awful leg lamp through a different medium. In other news, an elk poacher is on the lam after killing and de-antlering 2 bulls in Elgin last month. 2 suspects in the crime have been detained, but one, Nathan Crouch, is still running from the cops. Now, for those of you who don't know, poaching elk is essentially killing an elk for its antlers, which makes just about as much sense as throwing away a Happy Meal once you get the toy. And Elgin residents are not happy. According to The Observer, one Elgin resident wants to make a statement to the young people by putting the perpetrators away for a long, long time. "This is not to be tolerated here," he said. So if you see this guy, Nathan Crouch, running around or have any information about his whereabouts, contact the Oregon State Police. And eat your Happy Meals, kids. If you want the prize, you've got to eat your fries. And speaking of being a good person, this week I got to sit down and talk to a Catholic priest, specifically Father Saji Thomas, priest of Our Lady of the Valley Catholic Church in LeGrand. And I've got to say, for being a member of the Carmelites, a Catholic order dedicated to simplicity, quietude, and service, this guy had one impeccable sense of style.
Many of us know the priests in America. The number of the priests now in America are very less. So we always get the invitation from the bishops, from the country where we have a lot of priests, especially in India. In our state, Kerala, is known as God's own country. We have a lot of priests and nuns. And we were invited by the bishop, and Bishop Liam Carey, our
Yep.
diocese. So I was happy to come here, and I landed up in Legrand, a great place with wonderful people.
Father Thomas is originally from India, and it's not very often that I find someone like myself firmly rooted in the Christian tradition, yet still interested in Eastern spirituality.
See, there are different types of yoga. In fact, in my seminary life, we had, I think, almost 3 years of training in yoga, pranayama, and all those things.
Interesting.
So yoga helps us more in concentration and meditation. So it's all part of our Indian tradition and spirituality. As inculturation goes on, even all the religion can inculcate good part from any other religion. So even in Christianity, we have in India a lot of meditation type and yoga.
So now that being said, what is it like coming from someplace that has this much more orientation towards silence and peace to the West, where things are much louder, and especially in Legrand? Like, Legrand's a pretty small town, you know, like it's much smaller than, you know.
I love Legrand because it's serene and calm and quiet place. People, those who like to pray or be silent, then there is no much noise.
Except for the trains.
Yeah. And,
Ultimately, Father Thomas is here to listen and serve the community, he said. The conversation was pleasant as tea, and the rest of it can be viewed on our Facebook page or on thegrandalive.tv. So what else is happening this week in the Valley? Well, if you'd like to see some suits and Santa hats playing great music, head to the 25th Annual Holiday Music Festival at EOU this Saturday and Sunday. According to Go magazine, more than 250 area performers will play this weekend. Events are 7:30 p.m. on Saturday, 3 o'clock on Sunday. Also, the Festival of Trees start this weekend in Baker. Now, the Festival of Trees isn't just some hippy-dippy tree-hugger forest circle in Eastern Oregon. Actually, it's a 3-day extravaganza including a bazaar, a parade, choir concerts, and, you guessed it, Christmas trees for sale, fully decorated. All proceeds go to the Baker City Hospital to purchase new endoscopic equipment. More information and the times for events are available in Go magazine's spread, either in print or online. Also in Baker, the 4-H Christmas Bazaar will run Friday noon to 5:30 p.m. at the Fairgrounds Show Barn. Then Saturday, the 4-H folk will skip over to Union for the 4-H Holiday Craft Fair, 9 a.m. at the Union County Fairgrounds. So, if Christmas and critters are your cup of tea, keep your eye out for the 4-H events this weekend in Union and Baker counties. In sports, EOU beat the one more time, the number 1 team, Marion, last week 17-0. Again, they not only beat, but shut out the first-ranked team in the nation. Upon hearing about this event, I took the initiative to talk to Tim Camp, the 8-year EOU head coach, about the season so far and what's coming up this coming weekend for their next game. So you have a very legitimate, distinct possibility of ending it up in the final game for the Nationals. What is it like to have a run at this kind of a placement?
Well, I think it's something that you, as a coach, you always work for, you know, and I have no compassion for time, time spent on the job. I mean, I've done some of my best coaching and some of my worst record years, you know, and we just happen to have some really good kids and really good coaches who have put us in a position to, our senior leadership this year is unbelievable. We have some really good kids in the senior class, and they're bringing the younger kids up, and it's awesome to sit and watch that. But I think we basic fundamentals of football is what's going to win this game. The team that blocks better, the team that tackles better, usually has a higher percentage of winning a football game.
Absolutely. So it sounds like you trust your system.
Well, I think our system and our coaches. Again, it's I could never do this by myself. We've been fortunate to have some very good coaches here who mentor these kids every single day.
Now, the rest of this interview can be viewed on our Facebook page or on legrandalive.tv. In other EOU sports, EOU men's basketball also dunked their opponents this weekend, picking up 2 wins in the Idaho Dominoes Classic against Montana Western, 100-84, and Rocky Mountain, 80-76. The ladies didn't quite hit it so hard, splitting their 2 games in the Lady Yote Classic. They lost to Montana Western 60-47, but won the next day against Rocky Mountain 68-54. Also, the EOU volleyball team smacked their first 3 games against Coastal Georgia this weekend at Nationals in Indiana, winning all 3 28-26, 25-17, and 25-20. According to the EOU Sports website, Michaela Lindberg spiked it with 15 kills and Amanda Miller with 13. Then, as if that wasn't impressive enough, the ball kept right on rolling through Montana Tech Wednesday with another 3-game sweep by EOU, 25-21, 25-22, and 25-13. And the final damage, 45 kills, 17 blocks, hitting .280 with Lindberg and Miller sharing 12 kills apiece. And that's your weekly Newsish Roundup. This roundup was brought to you by Grand Ron Hospital, Northwest Furniture and Mattress, and Direct Music Source. Please like and share this video, and tune in for more local content on thegrandalive.tv. I'm Will Bowman.